How do you perceive yourself, and how does it impact your professional growth? This is a question that warrants introspection, as our self-perception or self-concept can significantly shape our judgment, mood, and behaviors. When we perceive ourselves positively, we tend to harbor more positive thoughts and beliefs. This positivity spills over into our worldview and consequently our actions. Imagine you're someone who sees themselves as competent and worthy. This positive self-perception can act as a catalyst, driving you towards more frequent positive behaviors, not just in your personal life, but in your professional sphere as well. But what exactly do we mean by positive behaviors? Well, it could mean taking on challenging tasks with confidence, collaborating effectively with your team, or even handling criticism constructively. Essentially, it's about responding to situations in a way that fosters growth. Now, let's flip the coin. What happens when we perceive ourselves negatively? When we see ourselves as damaged or worthless, our thoughts and beliefs become tainted with negativity. This negative self-perception can lead us down a path of self-sabotage, causing us to view ourselves and others through a pessimistic lens. This can manifest emotionally as higher levels of depression and anxiety, and behaviorally as reluctance in social and professional engagements. More often than not, our self-perception is shaped by our core beliefs. These are unconscious beliefs about ourselves that we've internalized over time. They can be positive, like feeling competent and worthy, or negative, like feeling damaged or worthless. These core beliefs form the foundation of our self-perception and influence how we perceive and interact with the world around us. Remember the two sides of the coin we spoke about? They're not mere metaphors. They represent two distinct realities that individuals can experience in the same situation based on their self-perception. This is the power of self-perception. It can lead two people to view the exact same situation very differently, resulting in different emotional and behavioral outcomes. As you can see, our perception of ourselves plays a crucial role in our professional growth. It's like the rudder of a ship steering us through the sea of our professional life. When we understand and harness the power of self-perception, we can navigate towards success and fulfillment. But remember, the rudder is in your hands. It's up to you to steer your ship in the direction you want to go. But why is positive self-perception so important, you may ask? Well, the answer is quite straightforward. It's a powerful tool that helps us navigate through the ups and downs of our professional lives, cope with rejection and failure, and still come out strong. Think of positive self-perception as your internal compass, guiding you through the stormy seas of workplace dynamics. It's rooted in having positive core beliefs about oneself, feeling competent, worthy, and brimming with potential. These beliefs aren't just feel-good mantras. They're the mental scaffolding that supports our resilience and adaptability. When we embrace positive self-perception, we're more likely to engage in positive self-talk. This isn't about ignoring our flaws or failures, but acknowledging them without self-condemnation. It's about saying, yes, I made a mistake, but that doesn't define me. I can learn and grow from this. And here's the secret sauce. The more we engage in positive self-talk, the more we internalize that positivity. It becomes our default setting, helping us to cope with negative feelings and bounce back from setbacks. It's like having an internal cheerleader, always ready to remind us of our strengths and capabilities when the going gets tough. On the flip side, a negative self-perception can be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we believe we're incompetent or unworthy, we're more likely to interpret events through a negative lens, leading to self-doubt, anxiety, and self-sabotage. It's a downward spiral that can affect not only our professional growth, but also our overall well-being. So, let's take a moment to reflect. How do you perceive yourself? Do you see a capable, worthy professional ready to take on challenges and grow? Or do you see someone who's constantly falling short, never good enough? Remember, your self-perception is not set in stone. It can be changed, shaped, and molded through conscious effort. In the grand scheme of things, having a positive self-perception doesn't just make us feel better about ourselves. It equips us with the mental resilience needed to navigate our professional lives, making us more adaptable in the face of challenges. It's like a compass, always pointing us in the direction of growth and progress. A positive self-perception can make us more resilient and adaptable in the face of challenges. Remember that and let it guide you on your professional journey. On the flip side, what happens when we have a negative self-perception? Well, the consequences can be quite profound. A negative self-perception, often characterized by core beliefs of being damaged or worthless, can lead to a cascade of negative thoughts and behaviors. From an emotional standpoint, negative self-perception can contribute to higher levels of depression and anxiety. If you constantly view yourself in a negative light, it's difficult to maintain a positive mood or outlook. You may start to feel overwhelmed by feelings of sadness or worry, and these feelings can be persistent and pervasive, making it harder to experience happiness or relaxation. In terms of behavior, negative self-perception can lead to missed opportunities both professionally and socially. You may find yourself declining invitations to social gatherings because you feel like you don't fit in or won't be liked. At work, you might hesitate to apply for a job or promotion, convinced that you're not good enough or won't be selected. This kind of self-doubt can seriously limit your growth and potential. Interpersonally, negative self-perception can make it difficult to maintain friendships and can even lead to self-sabotage in relationships. If you don't value yourself, it can be hard to believe that others value you. This can result in pushing people away or creating problems in relationships as a way to validate your negative perception of yourself. It's clear that negative self-perception not only affects how we view ourselves, but also how we interact with the world around us. It can lead to a cycle of negativity that's hard to break out of, and can prevent us from reaching our full potential. It's important to recognize these patterns, and to understand that it's possible to change our self-perception and move towards a more positive self-view. In conclusion, a negative self-perception can act as a roadblock in our path to success. It's a powerful force that can shape our emotions, behaviors, and interpersonal relationships in detrimental ways. But remember, it's not a life sentence. With awareness and effort, it's possible to shift our self-perception towards the positive, and in doing so, open up a world of possibilities. Let's understand this better with an example. Picture two colleagues, each receiving the same performance review. They've excelled in 8 out of 10 areas, but fell short in 2. Now, the way they interpret this feedback hinges largely on their self-perception. Imagine the first colleague as someone with a positive self-perception. They see themselves as capable, valuable, and competent. When they receive their review, these core beliefs color their interpretation. They focus on the 8 areas where they've excelled and see the 2 areas of improvement not as failures, but as opportunities to grow. Emotionally, they feel proud of their achievements and motivated to improve. They continue to interact positively with their managers, view their job with enthusiasm, and might even feel inspired to take on new responsibilities or apply for a promotion. Now let's consider the second colleague, who has a more negative self-perception. They view themselves as inadequate and undeserving. When they receive the same review, their negative core beliefs skew their interpretation. Instead of celebrating their achievements, they fixate on the 2 areas where they fell short, dismissing their successes. Emotionally, they feel anxious, embarrassed, and frustrated. They start to believe that they can't do anything right, and that they are on the brink of losing their job. Behaviorally, this might manifest as distraction, avoidance of their manager or colleagues, frequent absences from work, and a reluctance to apply for new opportunities or promotions. Just like that, the same performance review can lead to vastly different emotional and behavioral outcomes based purely on an individual's self-perception. This example clearly illustrates how our self-perception can shape our responses and behaviors in the workplace. It underscores the importance of nurturing a positive self-perception, not just for our mental well-being, but also for our professional growth. Remember, we're all works in progress, and every feedback is an opportunity to learn and improve. This example clearly shows how our self-perception can shape our responses and behaviors in the workplace. So, what are the traits associated with positive self-perception? Let's dive into 11 psychology-based traits that people with a positive self-perception usually embody. Firstly, they do not dwell on the past. They understand that focusing on past mistakes or regrets can be a recipe for disaster. Instead, they focus on the current moment and on moving forward. Whenever they find themselves overthinking situations from the past, they consciously shift their attention to the present moment and the possibilities ahead. Secondly, they practice self-compassion. They treat themselves with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness, just as they would treat a dear friend. They don't let self-criticism and disappointment get the better of them. Thirdly, they embrace change. They see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth and learning. They are open to new experiences and are not afraid to step out of their comfort zones. Fourthly, they have a growth mindset. They believe that their abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, and they are not afraid of challenges. Fifthly, they have a positive body image. They appreciate their bodies for what they are capable of, rather than focusing on how they look. Sixthly, they set healthy boundaries. They know their limits and are not afraid to say no when necessary. Seventhly, they have a strong sense of self-worth. They believe in their own value and do not rely on external validation. Eighthly, they are self-reliant. They trust in their abilities to handle whatever life throws at them. Ninthly, they are optimistic. They expect good things to happen and view difficulties as temporary setbacks. Tenthly, they practice gratitude. They appreciate what they have and express gratitude regularly. Lastly, they are self-aware. They understand their emotions, strengths, weaknesses, and values, and use this understanding to guide their decisions. Cultivating these traits can help us develop a more positive self-perception, thereby boosting our professional growth. So let's start working on these traits today. You'll be amazed at the transformation it can bring about in your life.